when you die, you become aware in another virtual reality. So your body dies and you wake up, sort of like we're no longer in Kansas. You're in a different place. That is called the transition reality, and it's another virtual reality.
Tom Campbell nearly broke TikTok recently by revealing his knowledge of what the conscious mind experiences in the moments after the body dies. Formerly a NASA physicist, Tom's most famous for his work in the field of consciousness. He helped pioneer the Monroe Institute and is arguably the world's foremost authority on the out-of-body experience, having practiced this now for over 50 years. So what did Tom say that got folks so wound up?
You tend to have a little anxiety at that point, particularly if you come with fear, like, oh, is this hell or is this heaven? So there's some anxiety with it, or maybe it was a traumatic accident that you weren't planning to die, it just suddenly overcame you. But in any case, you will run into something, there'll be some strategy there to help you relax and let go of your past life.
Tom puts forth that our consciousness is guided through an intelligent system that simulates an afterlife experience based on our cultural expectations of what that should be like. So a Western person might experience walking through the pearly gates or being met by a deceased family member who we'll just call Uncle Fred.
You find, Aunt Susie and Uncle Fred, there to greet you, and because they passed on 10 years earlier, and they're smiling and they're happy and they're obviously having a good time, so it couldn't be too bad there. So these things are done just to put you at ease, make you feel relaxed, and let go.
While this whole experience may seem real, it's a simulation designed to facilitate an easy transition between your former life and the next phase of the process. Now, of course, not everyone believes in reincarnation, but the angriest people commenting may have been those upset by the idea that afterlife Uncle Fred wouldn't actually be the real Uncle Fred, just a near-perfect simulation of who Uncle Fred was to them.
And they take off. That's the larger conscious system playing Uncle Fred and Aunt Sally.
I've lost loved ones near and dear to me and have long daydreamed about the opportunity to meet them again. But as we appear to be conscious beings engaged in a kind of explorative learning process, the expectation that a loved one's spirit should just hang around in one spot, waiting for a chance to catch up instead of embarking on their next adventure, might be a tall ask. The beautiful thing is this: my consciousness can still have that experience, and that's because this super intelligent system that supports our existence knows us better than even we can know ourselves, and knows our loved ones just as well. That's because we are data. You, me, your neighbour's cat. We are information, and information must be stored. And according to Tom, where it's stored is within a vast living system, which gives rise to our consciousness and the world we experience. So the system can create and express our loved ones perfectly, because it has all the data pertaining to their existence, as well as all the data pertaining to our memories of them. The living intelligent system that creates us, nurtures our consciousness, created our universe and every living thing within it, is ultimately present within every one of us. And this is the presence we're encountering when we have these afterlife experiences, which spiritual teachers from the East have been telling us a long time. So when we encounter deceased loved ones, either in our dreams or in the afterlife, from a certain point of view, that is real. So there's an afterlife reunion based upon our expectations, and whoever you happen to find yourself with, according to Tom, will then guide you to a place which sounds to me, for all things like a way station for souls.
Oh, okay, over here, and there'll be a line of 15 people there, and you go stand in the line, and that takes a while. And all it is just keeping you from getting into a fit of uncertainty, giving you things to do. Meanwhile, the old reality is disappearing, gone. All the people are nice and everything seems to be friendly. You're not hungry or cold or wet, and it's all okay. And then eventually, you kind of feel like, well, what should I do next? What's going on? And somebody will come approach you, and pretty soon you'll be planning your next incarnation, where you're going to go back and what it is you need to do.
The description of a way station for souls and an educational setting where life lessons can be reviewed and planned for in future lives is one that finds support in the work of other researchers, the most famous possibly being Dr. Michael Newton, whose books Journey of Souls and Destiny of Souls both make reference to a life between lives. This information coming from thousands of hypnotic inductions which are recorded and transcribed. Tom says that more experienced souls who have been through this process numerous times will probably breeze through this whole process quickly. Others may need to spend more time in this life between lives. Conscious beings who had a traumatic exit from their previous life may be in this category and will be attended to by caregiver type entities. And this is where Tom comes into it, and also you, if you choose, because according to Tom, there are often openings here for volunteer workers, and those of us who have sufficient intention to help and a high enough quality of consciousness to do so will often be welcomed into this environment to assist other conscious beings who need help and guidance. What a way to be of service. So how does one develop the quality of their consciousness in order to be of assistance in such a place? It's something that happens with concerted effort and the right intention. Helpful things to encourage this would be meditation, minimal toxic intake, and a loving disposition and respect for all living things. And those are just the basics. To really get to grips with these concepts, Tom's first book is the place to start. Or you can check out this lecture, which is where this journey started for me. All likes and comments help my channel grow and are greatly appreciated. And if you're into mind-body healing, be sure to subscribe. Thank you.